Most of our favorite YouTubers naturally have their videos look and sound super professional. Here's how to make any footage look and sound super professional for free inside of CapCut. And I'm going to be showing you all the steps on how you can make it look and sound really professional. This is being recorded on my iPhone right now. First step to making your videos look pro is just get in front of some sort of light source. It helps a ton. To demonstrate very quickly, this is what the video looks like when I have a bit of light coming through from the window. And this is what it looks like when there's only really light coming in from the side, no top light. So let me go ahead and switch on my main light. See how much better that is? It's so simple, but effective. We can click import to import our video, and I can drag that file onto our edit timeline. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this beginning part. It's time to work on something that is 50% of the actual visual experience. George Lucas said that 50% of the picture or the movie-going experience is in sound. So we're recording on our phone and we want to optimize the sound to make it sound like it was recorded in a professional studio and not disrupt or disturb that watching experience. There's such an easy and free way to do this. All you're going to do is create your in and out points by clicking I and O. And I'm going to click Command E to export. Now we want to deselect video exporting. So we're just going to export the audio, make sure it's on WAV, and let's rename this to Video Audio 1. Set your export destination and click export. That's going to pretty much instantly export your audio. Now a quick tip, if you have music and sound effects on your timeline, you're not going to want those in this recording. So all you need to do is select all of them and click V, and that's going to disable them and allow us to get that clean audio. All you want for this audio to clean up is your voice. You don't want any music or sound effects. Once you have that vocal recording, go to podcast.adobe.com/enhance. You're going to need to make a free account. The free account pretty much enables you to do everything you need. Go choose files and let's go to Video Audio 1 and click enter. We're going to have pretty amazing audio in a couple seconds. Okay, that took all about a minute. We get to preview our file. Here's how to make any footage look and sounds. Sounds amazing to me. And once you're ready, click download and that'll automatically download that file to your computer. Inside of CapCut, we can literally go ahead and drag that file right over onto our timeline, and you'll see it'll be exactly sunk with your other audio. What you can do now is drop your original audio. Here's how to make any footage look and sound and that sounds like we were recording it with a professional mic. For our next step, you're going to be applying a base adjustment to our base video layer, which is this video we've just imported. Select your video layer and go to adjustment on the top. And here we get access to all the adjustment curves. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of contrast to our image. Let's go to 10 points. I like to leave brightness at 0. I can see here that I'm a little bit bright, so I'm going to decrease my highlights and that's going to affect my skin. Let's go ahead and drop our shadows a bit to increase the contrast a bit more. And let's add 2 points of illumination. Now, some secret sauce. Clarity in CapCut is insane. It doesn't, to me, give me that artificial kind of sharpening. It just looks and adds a little bit of amazing image quality. Once you're finished with your basic adjustment, all you need to do is make a duplicate video layer, drag your second video layer on top of your first one. This is going to enable us to get that cool RGB effect. Now on your top video layer, go to video, go to cutout and say auto cutout. That's going to automatically cut out your human figure from those two layers. Now you can see if I disable this bottom video layer, it gives us a clean cut version of ourselves. And if we re-enable the bottom layer, the background reappears. What I want to do on our background video layer, which is our first video layer, go to basic, scroll down to relight. And we're going to relight our image to get that cool RGB effect. Under ambient, you can select one of these effects. And there we go. We have this cool teal and blue image look. I think that already looks quite cool, but let's mess around with some of the cool effects that we can do. So on my first light, which is light 1, I'm going to change this to a point. And this is our light on the side here. And I'm also going to change it from background to both so that we get some of that effect on our skin. Now this looks very intense and I also don't really like this color. So let's go ahead and make this purple. You get to play with some of these values and try and make them look a bit more realistic. Now, because we have those two video layers, we can drag the brightness down on our second video layer and it's not going to affect how bright we look. Don't go too far or else it looks like you're kind of just sitting in a random room. So still try and keep it looking realistic. The point here is to try and aesthetically and kind of make a style in your video. I'm going to go to light 2, which is our teal light on the side here. And I just Yeah, this color looks all right. Let's make it a bit more blue, I think. That is looking good now. What's great is if I make this background 47 and I go to light 1, that background is also going to be 47. This affects the brightness of the image altogether. Really nice cameras and lenses in cinema, they have the ability to keep the subject in focus and to blur the background. So we're going to do that effect. Go to your effects under lens. We're going to scroll down a bit until we find blur. Now all we need to do is drag blur onto our video layer. We have the ability to adjust these values. Now 50% looks way too high. Nowhere are you going to see an image that looks like that. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it down a bit. And let's get to a point where it looks realistic. I think 6 looks realistic. It's not too much and not too little. We can still tell there's an effect there. If I go and click on my video layer, I have the option to toggle effect on and off. And if I toggle it on, you can see that everything but my subject goes out of focus, which actually looks really nice and keeps us as the main center of attention. Now we look a bit too bright. In the beginning, this looked fine, but now that we've darkened our background, it looks a little bit artificial for us to be so bright. So this is where you get to apply different lighting effects to your actual subject. Click on your top layer, go to adjustment, and what we're gonna do is decrease our brightness ever so slightly to make us blend in a bit more with the background. You can also see that our background has changed in hue value. So what I'm going to do is drag a bit of magenta into my skin tones, and that's going to help us sit more comfortably within this background. And then what I can do as well is drag my temperature because we have this blue color here. All of a sudden we've gone from that to looking a bit more natural, like we're standing and being integrated into the environment. And once we're done with the basic adjustment and making us look more integrated in, here's one of the final steps. You're gonna add some lights to complement the lights that we've added in our background. So go ahead and select your subject layer and go to relight, and let's toggle that on. What we're gonna do now is add a soft light. Make sure that you're on directional and make it on people. This is gonna make sure it only affects you. And then what I like to do is match the color of my background or get to a similar color as whatever light you're on. So we can move that a bit more to the pink side because our light here is pink. Turn your intensity and your distance up to full. This is gonna exaggerate that effect so that we can start to tone it down. What I'm gonna do now is start to tone down my distance, and you can see that that starts to isolate the side of our face where the circle is. And now I'm just going to turn down the intensity some more. So if I turn that off and turn that on, you can see that it now has a realistic effect that this pink light is affecting our face. And we can add another light just by clicking there, change it to directional, put it on people, and let's try and match this light over here. So if I go to blue, I can select blue. Let me drag it to the right side, which is where that light is coming from. Turn my intensity up to full, and you can see that looks crazy. So I'm going to drag my radius down, and now what we can do is start to bring down our distance so that it only starts to affect that side of my body. And let's go ahead and drag that intensity down again. And if I turn that on and off, you can see now our subject has that blue light and that pink light coming in from the side. So it looks like we are now integrated officially into that environment. And there we go. Once you've done those steps, this is what your video is going to look like. Here's how to make any footage look and sound super professional for free inside of CapCut. I honestly think when we compare that, that looks so crazy and so cool. Oh man. Before you export, make sure you re-enable those audio layers so that you have your music and you have your sound effects back. I've made that mistake too many times. Don't make that mistake. Re-enable them so that you get all of that audio. And there we go, guys. Those are some quick and easy steps on making professional looking videos directly from CapCut. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, everybody.